We're not going to talk about who's not here. One person who was detained in Thailand. Another, I think he's spending the day with his mother. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm going to talk about the people that are here. One great, Jonathan Joseph Aprasinestein, and myself, Holden Kushner. Wonderful to see you. John Joseph, how are you today?
I wish I could say the same, Holden. I kind of dread doing this show every Sunday. It's actually even worse knowing that it's just going to be me and you now. But it's fine. We'll figure some things out. It is Mother's Day. I did have a question for you for Mother's Day. You know, you being a parent, what's your take on all these random, mostly are males, that simp over females that they'll never meet, that don't want to meet them, and then on Mother's Day, won't give their moms the attention they deserve? What's your thoughts about these clowns?
First of all, I don't even know what you're talking about. What is a simp? What is that?
You're like textbook definition of a simp, Holden. I mean, you have to know what a simp is. I'm sure the chat knows what a simp is, but
why am I a simp? What's a simp?
A simp is like someone who obsesses over a certain individual of either sex.
Okay. And then what happens after that?
What happens after what?
What happens after they obsess with the person? Where is this whole thing going? You started this show. I feel like you had this in the back of your head. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, JJ.
I feel like I did a decent job with the come out. I feel like I did a decent job with the delivery, more or less just implying that people will obsess over females that they'll never meet, that don't want to meet them at all, and they won't give their own mothers the attention they deserve. Speaking of people who are giving
their mothers are assholes.
Sure.
Not every mother's a good mother, JJ. There's a lot of bad mothers out there.
What percentage of mothers do you think are good mothers?
Probably half.
50%, that's fair, maybe.
50%. So if a guy simps over someone, let's say Madison, and they're simping for him, because you know what? I do remember what a simp was, because one day I was like, don't talk about Madison's boobs. She's a fine individual. And then my girlfriend was like, you idiot. That's exactly why you have her on there. So then I said, you know what? I was a simp. But I also like my mom. We've had a rocky relationship, no question, but it's in a good spot right now, JJ. So glad you asked this goddamn question. Really added to the show. So what else? What's your final outcome?
Yes, just to be clear, you were describing a white knight. There's a difference between simps and white knights.
Who's the white knight?
White knights are people that defend women that they have no idea who they even are. Like, oh, you shouldn't say that about her. She has a brain. Like those are the white knights. You want to also avoid the white knights too. These are like your typical gym class heroes while you're growing up.
This is bullshit. Nobody at RPS gives more shit to Tony than me, because I just don't give a fuck. I think he likes it personally.
And I'll be honest, Holden, I think people come for this type of information. Like, sure, you get some baseball content, but you also get some real life content. I mean, who else is talking about how much of a simp you are?
So here's Charles Moran's example. Jordan Poole's a sumo for spending $500K on Ice Spice. First of all, I have seen Ice Spice. Do you know who this Ice Spice is? I just learned about it.
I am very familiar with Ice Spice.
Not an attractive woman. Not an attractive woman, JJ. Don't understand all the things going around. And maybe it's like a Keith Richards type of thing. If you're really old, Keith Richards was the guy that basically injected himself with chloroform and stuff like that, lived till he's really old. But he would get the hottest chicks in the world, even though it was disgusting. So I think this is like is this like a modern day version? Ice Spice.
I do agree with you. I will say this, Holden. You're single at a bar at 1 a.m. Someone who looks like Ice Spice approaches you. You're not turning it down, right?
Probably.
But I do agree with you that it seems like she's overhyped. But hey, look, good for her.
Okay.
Good for her.
All right, hold on a second. Jordan Poole was not a sumo. He's just a simp. So thank you for correcting that, Charles Moran. Appreciate that. Anything else you'd like to add? Because you've really started the show off wonderfully. Thank you for speaking in a fucking language I've never even heard and trying to have a conversation with me about that.
I'm glad you appreciate it. It was hard to tell if that was satire. And I think you were being real. So thank you. I appreciate you being real. And yeah,
the Ice Spice thing was real. 100%.
I agree with you on the Ice Spice thing. I agree. Overhyped is fair for her for sure.
What is she? She's a singer, right?
More like a rapper, but yeah.
She's a rapper. Ice Spice. Well, I saw a picture of her mom, and her mom has quite the booty. So I'm a little older than you, and I would sorry, hon, don't listen to this part. I would rather tap Ice Spice's mom than actual Ice Spice.
maybe they both have like a squat rack in their house. Maybe on Mother's Day, they both hit the squat rack together. They're both in the squat cage.
So the same guy is there. The same guy is laying on the ground.
Yep.
And they're squatting.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking a gym setting. You turned it into a porno, but that's fine.
Just got a text from my girl. She's not happy with this conversation, but I'll say it again just because I need to. I would much rather tap Ice Spice, mom of Ice Spice, than Ice Spice. Second thing I did want to get into, because we're going to talk baseball and we'll talk betting and all that other stuff. Daniel Mordorf, Ja Morant did you see this dumbass, what he did this time?
I did. Quite inexcusable. I also don't understand. I know it's a bit of a touchy subject in general, but I just don't understand why anyone thinks it's cool to flash a gun anywhere. I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand anything about that. But
have you ever stood outside of your house with a shotgun and felt the power?
No,
you haven't, have you? Well, get back to me when you have. It's quite a power, especially when deer are across the street. I mean, in my neighborhood, it's pretty good to have a shotgun, JJ. Okay, because sometimes the deer are across the street. Once in a while, you'll get a bear or a mountain lion in the neighborhood. So, yeah, I do think flashing a piece. Now, my piece might be different from Ja Morant's piece. Maybe he likes a Glock. I enjoy a shotgun. So, no, I think Ja Morant is in the right here. It is his right to carry a gun. And if he wants to carry a gun, this is America. What's the big deal, JJ?
So first of all, I think you're very straight. To me, I'm getting like Elmer Fudd vibes from you. Like you like sitting outside your house with a shotgun in your hand.
Yeah, the kids.
Like what are you doing? Hunting for wabbits?
You want to know who never comes by my house? Anybody's loitering. People have loitering signs. People still go up to the front door and they loiter. They don't loiter at my house. They know if they loiter, they're getting a whole bunch of spray right to their face.
What type of spray?
You know, the bullet spray. You know, the whole stuff, whatever they're calling it.
You're so full of shit.
I am. I don't own a shotgun.
Yeah, you don't even have like the persona of it. Like you don't have an accent. You know, like you just don't have the persona.
Yeah, but I could have the persona. I could put on a cowboy. I could put on a straw hat. Just be like, hey, I'm gonna shoot y'all. If Ja Morant come around this part of town, I'm gonna shoot his ass. And I'll just say, this is legal for Ja Morant to want to shoot a gun and hold a gun and be a badass. So I'm done. I'm done with these people that they're going to suspend Ja Morant for just throwing a gun out there. Come on, man, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, you're sounding a lot like fucking Stoop Kid from Hey Arnold, like a guy that just
This is not China. This is not communist China. This is America.
On your shoulder. I don't know.
What amendment is for the guns? That's the one that Ja Morant should hold up next time. Not a gun, just the amendment.
Yeah, I'm out on it. People love him. Kids love him. It's not the
right. Really?
I'm not trying to sound like a boomer, but like the dude already got wrist slapped for it. It's like, how dumb do you have to fucking be? Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm 100%. What a dumbass. Like, think about a guy that would rather be a gangster than an NBA player. Like every gangster probably wants to be an NBA player. No NBA players want to go to prison or get shot. Apparently, Ja Morant does. So, in all seriousness, this just suspend his ass for a year. Just keep him away, and let's see if he survives without basketball. Because I don't think he's going to be around very long. It's unfortunate. And JJ, you remember watching this kid in college? We were watching this kid in college. I was so excited to see him in the NBA, and then he bursts on the scene in the NBA. Like, who are the people he's hanging out with? And how has it not gotten through him in his head that his whole career is on the line and that he could lose all his millions of dollars and end up being a poor son of a bitch?
Yeah, I mean, an incredible amount of poor accountability on his end. Also, he's hanging around with the wrong people, which I guess is a tough conversation to have regardless. But like your real friends wouldn't put you in that scenario to begin with. So I don't know. Like to me, the whole situation's kind of fucked. I kind of feel bad for him in a sense, but he also has to hold himself accountable. Hopefully that problem gets fixed. He's too talented on the court for hopefully. This is the kind of shit that bothers me. Like in relation to the people that talk shit about LeBron James for the wrongest of reasons. Like the dude is a 21-year scholar in the fucking league. Like, yeah. And like none of this shit ever happens. No bad media around him ever. It's like pick your battles. And I'm sure there's people that are defending Ja Morant because they're also idiots. Like I don't know. The whole situation's kind of effed for me. But look, hopefully whatever they suspend him with, whatever they do, hopefully he learns his lesson. He's too talented, and hopefully gets the train on the tracks because, yeah, it's foolish. It's not even naivety. It's negligence at this point, and it's just foolish. But, yeah, hopefully better days ahead for him. God bless him. And, again, hopefully only good comes of it in general.
I mean, it really is asinine. And isn't his dad like this? He's propping him up all the time. He's wearing Ja Morant shirts.
I want to be clear. So I want to be clear. I didn't blame his friends, okay? But
Yes,
I'm saying to you, if you have real friends around you, real friends aren't recording a video when they know you have a gun in your fucking hand. Like, it's just reality. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not blaming his friends. I'm not saying it's his fault. The dude's got to hold himself accountable. But it doesn't seem like he's also hanging around the best folks either. So
you're right, Charles. You know where he should go? He should go to like Chicago or Los Angeles or maybe New York where there's no gang activity. That would probably be the best landing spot for Ja Morant. Too much gang activity.
Mangone brings up a good point with where we've already taken this show. You want to start talking about the 2024 election?
Where's Mangone?
I saw him in the chat. He was asking if we could next hop onto another non-polarizing topic like
did I ban him accidentally on this thing too?
You might have. I think that was Mangone that made that.
I couldn't unban Uncle T. I couldn't unban Joey Work. And now I apparently have not been able to see he could be Travis? That's not Mangone.
I don't think that was him. I don't know.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Woo, Mangone, what are you doing, man? I just put it in the Discord. Come on, hop on the show. I mean, we don't want to hear about your take on Ja Morant, but we'd love.
By the way, decent transition to talk about basketball. That movie Air Max on Prime looks pretty good. The movie about how Nike got started with Jordan looks pretty good.
Great movie. Saw it in the theater. Oh,
looks good.
9 out of 10.
Credit to Ben Affleck, by the way, too. Dude really turned his career around. He went from doing joke movies and being a laughing stock of the industry to doing some pretty good directing of a bunch of different movies.
When was he a laughing stock of the industry? By the way, I did not think he'd be a good Batman. There's been so many bad Batmans. He was fine as Batman.
That's what I mean. I mean, he's like really turned it around. I mean, if you remember, he was in the Dogma days. He was just kind of like a comic dude doing average movies. And then
have you heard of Good Will Hunting? Because it's one of the finest cinematic masterpieces, and he was the one that took care of that. Hold on, let me change this. Our boy Mangone has shown up. So thank you for answering the call, Mangone. There he is. Good morning, Mangone.
What's going on, Holden? How's it going?
I said I didn't want your take on Ja Morant, but now I kind of do.
I mean, I don't. The people don't want to hear it. It's the boomer take, right? It's like, what are we doing? There's no point in talking about Ja Morant. Get it out of here. Suspend him for a year. Move on. It's stupid.
Just a year. Because maybe he'll be dead by that time.
Yeah. People got to hit rock bottom at some point, Holden. I'm sure you've had a place.
Trust me, buddy. Trust me, there have been rock bottoms plenty of time over here. Plenty of time.
It's not that bad down there, though, too. Just hang out at rock bottom for a little bit, figure it out, fix your life.
What is this now? Why are you calling him Man Woat? Because he is Man Goat. Are you saying that to be mean, or are you thinking that you're funny today, boss, bruh? Because nobody messes with the Man Goat. That's all I'll say.
Well, happy to be here, whether I'm Man Goat or Man Woke, but happy to talk some baseball. I'm just kind of diving in, so you'll definitely get a raw take from me. But I'm excited. I think
you don't have to add much. I don't add much to the show either. It's JJ's show.
JJ's carrying the show. He's got our backs. He's our.
I want to be quick because now I'm getting roasted for the bad Ben Affleck taste. When Ben Affleck started his career like 20 years ago, people who like considered themselves real actors gave him no respect. It was why he was crying when he won the award for, I think it was Best Actor in the first time he won the award. He was crying at the podium. And the reason he was doing it was because he wasn't getting any industry respect back then. He started to get it, and now he's directed a ton of good movies.
Backtrack. You said the guy's career sucked. He was in good. He made Good Will Hunting. He's had a Hall of Fame career. Maybe you and your dad were sitting there playing pussyfoot, making fun of Ben Affleck, but he doesn't care about that.
Ben Affleck has had a wonderful career. He's been great. For the last 15 years, he's been great at all levels.
30 years ago, he made great with Good Will Hunting was his greatest masterpiece.
Good Will Hunting is a phenomenal movie, by the way.
I know, and he's like, oh, no, it wasn't. How about these apples? You don't like apples.
Wait, you don't think that was a good movie?
This feels like such a straw man. I didn't say Good Will Hunting was not a good.
Backtrack.
You just keep referencing one. You just keep referencing one movie.
You can't even go back farther, JJ. That's how far back.
Back when he made his speech when he won his first Academy Award for Best Actor.
The Town was good, actually.
Town was a fantastic movie. But you're still referencing the stages of where I'm saying he was doing well.
was good at Forrest Gump. That's terrific. Yeah, I just think you do. You are backtracking now. I don't remember anyone really saying that Ben Affleck was a joke. He wasn't a good actor for a while, but he still wrote one of the greatest movies of all time. And
that's all I'm referencing. That's all I'm referencing.
Yeah, and he had J-Lo. He had J-Lo with.
And I'm a huge Ben Affleck fan. I love
J-Lo. So he said,
I love all.
What?
I said I love all of them. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, the two buddies.
Okay, very good. Al Zerbitt. When Ben Affleck cries at the end of Armageddon. Mangone, sorry to have invited you to this. You should have known you were walking into Sunday morning with me and JJ. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was trying to save the people and get them onto baseball, but I've done what I can.
I can't even believe, like, low-key hope, like, Mangone's feelings were hurt that we were talking about two, like, not even totally polarizing topics. Like, it's almost kind of hurtful for me that Mangone feels the need to jump on our show to correct it.
I'm just helping the people out. You know, the chat was getting restless a little bit. I also I figured throwing in the I throw RPS out and I hear we're talking guns. Let's switch over to election while we're at it. You know what I mean?
No. We're not talking about the amendment, the Fifth Amendment, or whatever fucking amendment we're talking about. We're just talking about a guy throwing his career away.
Yeah, and I learned this. Simple tells us to stop talking about boomer topics as he come in and calls us boomer. I don't know. Not a Mangone could improve from here, in my opinion. Could definitely improve.
I mean, look, WS, he's 100% right. But the only thing else I wanted to bring up to Mangone is, I mean, in all seriousness, right? Like, you just say suspend him for a year. I think you suspend him for a year, he probably gets shot at some point in time. Not as a joke. Like, seriously, if he's not around basketball, he's probably going to get shot.
I don't know what would happen, but I don't know. It's better than whatever's going on. I mean, something's got to fix it.
12th Amendment. Yeah, sorry about that, Robert. 12th Amendment, whatever that amendment is.
Well, now, Holden, we have 35 minutes to talk on the slate. So,
you have that NASCAR show, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
Okay,
we'll be quick.
Let's get into it then. If you don't like a game, just say pass. I got a whale cock play of the day and a regular play. Which, by the way, I've done this show 3 weeks on plus money now. Also, Mangone, who is 10-4 on his prop plays. I tailed him twice. I'm not going to tell you so you don't get him wrong. I'm 0-2 on your prop plays.
You're 0-2 on him?
I'm not tailing either. Gabe Vincent the other night, I was like, God, this Mangone fucking sucks. He's the worst. The guy's 10-4. If you're not on the bet side, what are you doing? JJ went 3-0 yesterday. Joey Work's been on a 10-year heater. Mangone has posted player props. He's 10-4.
I'm a little scared of today's, but it looks so good. I think it's a good one, but it's I'll give it to the people. It's for the NBA. The problem is it's an under, and like an under in a game 7 where minutes could be high is scary. But Tyrese Maxey's rebound prop is 4.5, so I have the under on that at -120. So if anyone wants that, go right in.
Don't do it now because I'm tailing it. You're gonna lose.
Let's hope it doesn't.
Tyrese Maxey under 4.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope he doesn't play like 40
minutes. JJ goes, yeah.
You look at it's one of those things that just like it's an overprojected setup. Like it's wrong. If he plays 48 minutes, he plays 48 minutes, and if I lose, whatever.
Are the Nuggets going to beat the Lakers, Mango?
No.
I mean, I'm Mangone. I would love to see LeBron hoist another title.
Yeah.
No. I'm not buying it. I'm not. We're gonna have words on that, Mango.
Al, I know I need to purchase a level, but I'm gonna change my whole setup soon. Don't worry.
All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this very quickly. We're gonna do the baseball card very quickly because, like JJ said, he has a show in 35 minutes. We spent a lot of time talking a lot of nonsense. I just put in my Tyrese Maxey under 4.5 rebounds bet. So now, Mangone, you're gonna want to hedge the other way. We're gonna get into these games. We're going to start with you, JJ. We'll start with you on the bet side, huh? You got 3 bets from what I saw today. Actually, 2 bets. You've got the Yankees and the Marlins. Okay, so let's start with the Yankees taking on the Rays. The Marlins is a different game. Clark Schmidt, Zach Eflin. Yankees plus 115 at home against the Rays. Total here is 9. What do you got, JJ?
So this is just a double positive for me for why I like this game. First of all, Zach Eflin sucks. Like, I know he's been pitching well. I know he's been He's looked the part, I guess, and maybe the Rays are helping fix him. But I need the sample to grow a little bigger before I feel that way. And on the other end, Clark Schmidt has been tough to watch in certain instances, but last year he was pretty good. And there's not a whole lot of his numbers that, like, as far as speed and velo goes, that makes you think something's odd going on. His advanced stuff, some of it, I think it's his xFIP is in the low 4s or high 3s. He's got progression coming, and Eflin's got regression coming. And look, the Yanks are going for a sweep today, I believe. No matter how much they've been down in this series, they've continued to bounce back, and they've absolutely torn apart this Rays bullpen in this series. And I know Joey Work loves to talk about how bad this Rays bullpen is. It's not that bad. However, the Yankees this series have done a really good job or bang-up job against them. I don't necessarily think I'm getting so I look at these lineups. I do believe I have the better lineup today from the Yankees. I don't love this lineup at all from the Rays. I do believe the starters are equal at best. Bullpens, I'm not favoring the Rays in any way, especially with how they've buried through their pen in this series. I just think overall, and the Yanks are home. I love the slight dog price, and the Yankees going for a sweep today. Or maybe I saw a 2-1. So I guess they lost the first, won the last 2. I know the Yankees won 2 in a row. So either way, I guess going for a 3-1 for this series. But yeah, I do like the Yankees at a cheap price. I just don't understand. I know now that they've been steamed to plus 115. This game to me is a coin flip at best. So yeah, I love the fact of getting dog price with them. So yeah, like the Yanks today, plus 115 now at DK.
Man, Goat, since you're just looking at this with us too, anything from this Tampa Bay Yankees game, whether it be pitching or offense, or is it a fake?
No, I mean, I've ran most of my stuff, and I have a pretty good general idea of what I'm doing. But I'll admit I don't have – it's more like raw number stuff, right? It's not as much, it's not much hand in the dirt.
Nobody comes for information on this show. Don't worry.
Here's the information I'll give you. Clark Schmidt is one of my fades at pitcher today. I will say that. As I ran stuff, I said, Clark Schmidt against the Rays, he's popping up a little bit, not a ton, but like enough where I think it's a good fade. So he is definitely on the fade list for me. No Clark Schmidt over here.
I mean, Mangone, not to interrupt there. People really line up to play Clark Schmidt today? I mean,
listen, I don't think they're lining up to play him, but I think he's going to gain some ownership. The number I'm seeing is about 15%. And that's something. It's not nothing, right? So that's all. I just think he's one of the guys to fade. That's all. So I'm definitely going to fade him. No Clark Schmidt for me. When I just ran stuff, I got a little bit of him, and I said, no Clark Schmidt. I passed on him. And then I'm not playing the Rays. I'm not playing the Yankees. They're just not stacks that were popping up for me. So I just said, pass on them. I'll keep going and figure it out later. And I do like this slate because, hey, it's a non-core slate. And if you are looking for a winner, Joey Work is here with a nice little winner, which I'm trying to throw up. He says, sorry, I can't make it. Love you guys. Happy Mother's Day. Free play Rockies money line from our guy, Joey Winters.
Love it.
You think they're going to play Mangone?
The Rockies game? I mean, I'd assume. Why? Is it raining still?
Yeah, it's still raining. It's gross.
Yeah, I went out this morning to get a coffee. It wasn't raining when I was out, but
yeah. All right.
I think it'll be fine.
I woke up this morning and it was raining. So we have different events of what happened.
It was like the drizzle was gone. Like when I don't know.
Next game, Pirates Orioles, Kyle Gibson and Mitch Keller. Minus 110 both sides. We got a total of 8, slightly juiced the under at minus 115. JJ, Pirates, Orioles. I don't see anybody having a play for this game. So do you just want to say pass it off to Mangone so we can get DFS because you got 31 minutes, or do you have something you want to say? Yeah. Hi, Joey Work. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, Mangone, you could talk DFS, and I will say that from a DFS perspective, both these pitchers are a fade for me today.
Mangone? Yeah, this is actually a pretty fascinating scenario because, if you just look at Mitch Keller, right? If I just pull up his game logs, he's got last 4 starts, 19.9, 28.9, 21.65, and 42.25. Now he played Colorado, Tampa, Dodgers, and Cincinnati. 2 shitty teams, 2 really good teams. It's been pretty impressive for Mitch Keller, but he's 9.6K. It's really tough to decide. If I told you he's getting a 20 spot, like he's been getting every single start, of course you'd sign up for it. But this Baltimore Orioles offense is a scary offense to kind of go against. One other thing to call out is at least it's a good pitcher's park that is encouraging for someone like Keller. I am currently not investing in Keller. But if you decide to play, like if you're considering playing Keller today and let's say you've been playing him, keep riding the wave, right? That's how I kind of handle these scenarios. I haven't really played much Mitch Keller so far. Maybe I've just been, I haven't really played as much MLB. I've been playing more NBA, and I'm starting to dive deeper into MLB now that we got the NBA kind of closing out here. No more 2-game slates, but I just don't see myself diving onto Mitch Keller at 9.6K. One thing to do, make an adjustment in your projections and see if that changes anything. Maybe you give him like a 2-3 point bump, or maybe even a little bit more if you're not getting enough. But it's so tough to get to Mitch Keller at 9.6. It's a very difficult price tag for me. And there's other guys in that range I think I like more.
Could you imagine lining up to play Mitch Keller at his max price that he's ever been in his career on the road against Baltimore?
But I will say this, JJ. Someone did mention this in the chat. I should call this out. He is correct. GB says it. The Baltimore starting lineup is not great. Cedric Mullins, Santander, Gunnar Henderson in the 3-hole, Mountcastle, and then now it really drops, right? Adam Frazier, Austin Hayes, Kyle Stowers, James McCann, and Joey Ortiz. Now, to be fair, like Stowers, he can definitely hit a bomb, but he also can strike out. Like Austin Hayes and Adam Frazier's a 5 and 6 isn't scary. Like if someone told me they're playing Mitch Keller, I wouldn't tell them I wouldn't say what you said, right? I understand your statement. It is funny, right? Like, are we really going to pay for him at his highest price? But if his ownership's going to be low,
it's going to be near 20%, man.
Yeah, is it really going to be 20? That's
not
tough.
good.
Okay,
good.
So full to give you, because I know I've been a little.
But part of that's the slate too, right, man? Pitching's not obvious today, right? So part of it's the slate for why he's going to be 15 to 20% owned.
Yeah, so it's like all these plays are very similar plays. If I didn't think he'd have 20% ownership. So for me, I am not playing him, right? But if you're a guy who's been playing him, I could understand riding it out. If you haven't been, I wouldn't play him. That's just sorry for the fence riding, but that's my take.
Okay. Uncle T's in the house. Good talk. The Braves and the Blue Jays. Now, we got a very high total here, at least for this slate. 9.5. Colin McHugh against Kikuchi is the pitching matchup. And just from a DFS side, when we get into that, I find the bottom of this Blue Jays order kind of interesting today. But again, JJ, as we look at this, it is a minus 120 price for the Jays, even money Braves in Toronto, 9.5 total. Any betting sides to this? Because I kind of find this a more juicy DFS side.
Yeah, definitely juicy on the DFS. And I don't have any takes I love, but I will say this much as far as betting wise. But I will say this much. Yesterday, I made it clear in the video that I basically never like to fade Berrios at home against righty field lineups. He's just so good against righties. He pitched pretty well. And then obviously Toronto had a few breaks go their way to grab runs themselves. This is a totally different pitcher in Kikuchi who gets mauled against right-handed bats. And the Braves bring a lot of right-handed bats to town. I mean, I think weighted OBA for Kikuchi is over 360 against right-handed bats. So I don't care how quote-unquote good he may have looked with his surface stuff, 5-0, 3.35 ERA. The dude has regression coming, especially against big righty bats. And I think the Brave stack will be my favorite stack of the day. I know it's not saying much, but on a slate where you really don't have to pay up for pitching anyway, you can get these guys in your lineup. So, yeah, I know it's not a hot take either. I'm sure Braves bats will be popular. But to me, go cheaper at pitching. I'll give a pitcher I really like that's at the bottom a little later. But, yeah, Brave stack for sure.
Mangone DFS-wise, I think both sides are looking pretty good. Is there a side you prefer, or is this just not a game you like?
So for me, Atlanta seems like an offense that isn't going to come in at as high ownership. Like, I think at the surface they look like that, but I think they end up coming in higher owned than everyone realizes. Not that they're a bad stack, but I think I prefer other stacks. What I'm going to probably do with the Braves is I think I'm just going to mainly 2-man stack these righties, like Dunkel was talking about. Grab some of these right-handed bats that we got here. If we look at the full lineup, Acuna obviously going to be part of that. Austin Riley, D. Arnaud. You could make a case for an Ozuna, but maybe kind of try and grab those like power bats, or maybe again, like maybe it's like a 2-man of Ronald Acuna with like a Kevin Pillar, right? I think I'm going to stick to the mini stacks on the Braves rather than the 5-man stacks overall. I just do think they come in a little bit higher owned than I would like. So, yeah, for that reason, I am going to just mainly play mini stacks of the Braves.
You're a little 6, 7, 8 Toronto today. Little bottom of the order Toronto stuff. My boy Donnie Johnson's in there too. Like button would be great if you want to give us a like. Look, Mangone is actually on the show. He wasn't supposed to be here. JJ is, And then I'm here. So it's wonderful to see all of you today. Thank you for stopping by. Give us a like button. We'd give us a little like. We'd appreciate that. And then sign up for the site. I can't do what Joey Work does, to be honest with you. He yells at you. He scares you. He gives you proof how great the site is. So I'll just say this. Check it out. That's about it. JJ, do you want to try to sell the site? Joey Work is here. I usually don't even bother.
Yeah, man, I think you did a good job. The next go around, I'll try to sell it.
Okay, because it didn't go well that time. Seattle and the Tigers. I mean, first of all, we got one Joey in the lineup. Now we got Joey Wentz. Joey Work better than Joey Wentz. Joey Ortiz, not as good as Joey Work. Logan Gilbert, Joey Wentz. Tigers plus 155. Seattle minus 180 on the road today. 8.5 is the total, JJ. I want nothing to do with this. Do you?
Yeah, ugly game again. This is what makes this slate kind of unique, right? There's just pitching is just a bit of a dumpster fire. Yeah. Like, Mangone, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Logan Gilbert will be one of, if not the highest owned pitcher on the slate. And again, another guy that you're paying maximum dollar for.
Well, there's a lot of guys that don't wow you, Dunkel, right? It's like a lot of guys that just all seem like, oh, like they're kind of all like similar plays and like you don't feel confident in, if that makes sense.
That's what I mean. Like you're almost paying for these guys because you might have the extra money or you're just used to paying around $9K for a pitcher. But like, I don't know. Do you really feel good about paying $9,400 on the road with Logan Gilbert? I don't know. A guy that normally doesn't really get you there big time with strikeouts, a guy that normally piles up his pitch counts earlier in games. He barely ever goes over 6 innings. Yeah, I don't know. Like at 30, I mean, if I told you I'm fading Keller, like definitely Gilbert's another easy fade at 30% ownership. So yeah, pitching's ugly today, but Gilbert's definitely a fade for me at that price. He could get there for sure, but yeah, another guy that I'm not going to climb the ladder with for no reason. Slate's bad, but it doesn't mean you make bad decisions at your starting pitching spot. Just based on upside, I think it's hard for you to feel good about paying that price for him. But Mangone, I'm interested in your takes there. But betting wise, no, nothing strong for me.
Yeah, I'd say he's overall like he's a safe option, right? Like Logan Gilbert, he feels like the play, like he's like the classic like 2 condom play, right? Like you don't feel like you're gonna get killed by playing him. You also feel like you have upside. You feel like the floor ceiling combination is really good with someone like Logan Gilbert. So I'd say that's kind of how I would classify him. He's going against the Detroit Tigers. We know any pitcher against the Detroit Tigers makes a ton of sense. So I'm definitely in on Logan Gilbert. But, Duncan, when I went through and made my, doing my pitching stuff and I'm running through and making my teams, I was getting 100%. So you know what I said? Is he a guy I want 100%? Yesterday, yes, I wanted 100% Zach Gallen. I just made sure the lock button was hit on him and I called it a day. Logan Gilbert is not classified as that guy. So ownership-wise, I'm sure he comes in at 30+%. It could even get steamed higher. I'll probably cap it at, I have it at 50 right now. And sometimes I like to cap my pitchers personally. That way it sometimes gives me a different mix of some other guys that are like in that tier 2 section. And then I'll bump some other guys that I might like a little bit more that we'll get to. But I'm going to cap Logan Gilbert's ownership percentage where I'm overweight on him, but I'm not going to have 100%. I just don't think he's a 100% type play like Zach Gallen was yesterday.
So hit the like button. Hey, Bill Miner, what's up, buddy? He just said it for you. Just hit the like button and let everybody know that we're so nice.
Hi, Bill Miner.
You. Love him. Huh? You love him, right?
Bill Miner fan. Bill Miner's a good guy.
Yeah. Always a nice little crowd here on these Sunday morning shows. The next game we're getting to is the Reds and the Marlins. Luke Weaver, Braxton Garrett. Marlins minus 155 at home, plus 135 on the road for the Reds. Total here is 8. JJ, you got to play, so why don't you give it to us?
Yeah, so I really like this spot for the Marlins laying a run first 5, or laying half a run first 5. Luke Weaver, like, yeah, sure, the surface stuff's bad, but the advanced stuff backs it up. Like, he's been really bad. Whereas Garrett, surface looks pretty bad, but the advanced stuff actually doesn't look bad at all. Now, the only thing that really made me not want to do this in multiple ways as far as really load up on the Marlins is the fact that Cincinnati's won 2 games in a row here, and their sticks have been super live. Garrett is a little bit of a different pitcher than they've seen, and even Alcantara got hit up a bit yesterday as well. But for me, it's just a price spot. I mean, if you're going to argue that, to me, the pitching matchup is pretty similar with what was yesterday as far as Alcantara and who the Reds are throwing out there. And is this really worth 80 cents? Like the Marlins yesterday were minus 240. Like today, the line's minus 160. Is Alcantara 80 cents better on a line than Garrett? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, that's a whole lot. But anyway, I just think it's a bit of an overreaction. I think we're getting a good price here with the Marlins first 5. I know the Reds have been good, but I I also like the Marlins sticks in DFS. So Mangone, I'll let you talk a little on that. I don't think anybody's going to play them. And I think they're really sneaky today, especially at the top of that lineup. And because they're priced high, some of them, I don't think anybody's playing these dudes. So I love that. I love doing the top of the order with the Marlins mixed with the Braves and some cheap pitching today, as far as being unique and making yourself different.
What's the best number you got on the first 5 run line?
I got -105. It might be better now because it might have got steamed down a bit, but I got -105.
Mangone, anything DFS wise? You with JJ here? Maybe some Marlins?
Hey, Jay, real quick, because I was running a couple things while you were talking. I heard the Marlins stuff. Did you like Braxton Garrett? Did I hear you say that or no?
Yeah. So to me, dollar for dollar, and I know I said this last week with a few different guys. I know we did a show Friday a week and a half ago where I know I gave out Merrill Kelly at low ownership, and he mauled. Last week I know I gave out Alcantara on this as my best play. Pound for pound, to me, best pitching play on the slate is Braxton Garrett, because the slate in general, you're basically overpaying for pitchers at the top that have limited full ceilings. Like Garrett is bottom of the wheelbarrow price at 5,900, and I feel like you're getting him at a bottom price with upside that has 20 plus. Like, so for me, I just think, again, I'm not saying he's the best pitcher on the slate. I'm saying per dollar, he's the best player on the slate, best pitcher on the slate.
No, I like the Garrett call. He's the guy, when I kind of ran stuff, I didn't know if he was going to make the list, and he makes the list for me. So I will have Braxton Garrett on teams for sure. He'll definitely make the cut. So I heard you at the start of the show kind of say, or at one point in the show, you said you had a guy down there that you liked, and I thought it'd be him, and it is him. So it was kind of encouraging to hear that, because that's when I was kind of figuring out some of my pitching stuff. So like Braxton Garrett, I understand the Marlins take. I don't think it's bad. I prefer the minis more. I'll just say that. I just don't think I need 5-mans from the Marlins, right? Like when I look at this team, like it's just hard to find 5 bats, right? Especially with no Jazz in the lineup. So it's going to be mini stacks for the Marlins for me against Luke Weaver, not the 5-man stack. I just don't see me needing it. Like if it was one of those slates, like remember the other day we had Spencer Strider at 12-2, and then we had Sonny Gray at 10K, and I talked about just lock buttoning both of them and kind of calling it a day, and I needed a cheap stack. If I needed the cheap stack of the Marlins, I'd go for it, but I think it's better as the minis personally today.
Not fair.
All right. If anybody wants to chime in on anything they've heard today, whether it be Ja Morant, Ice Spice's mom, baseball, Joey Work, Mangoat, JJ, myself.
Do we have an Ice Spice take, like hot or not hot? Like, can I get a take from anyone?
We did have our take, man.
I don't find her attractive at all. I find her mom kind of sexy.
I don't think that's fair, Holden. I think you don't find her as attractive as seemingly most other males do.
I don't think there's many males that find her attractive. Like if she wasn't a rapper, and you saw her on the street, you'd be like, gross.
No, she's not gross. Like that's egregious. Like
you know what? I also haven't seen her in a bikini or naked. Is that going to change?
I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan. Like if you told me like hot woman and then like red hair fro, probably not in, right? Like it just like, I don't know.
She's a ginger.
But I continue to say, like, if you guys are single, it's 1 a.m. at a bar, and Ice Spice's clone walks towards you, like you're not turning that down.
No, dude. I've been with some other women. That's not one I want to get with.
I'll say this. This is what I would do. If Ice Spice walked up to me at a bar, I assume she has friends with her as well. Like I'm gonna say no, Mangone. I'm gonna talk to Ice Spice.
Yeah, man. Mangone will give her the elevator pitch speech of why she needs to keep it moving.
I'll be very nice. I'll be very nice to her. I'll have good conversation. We'll probably get along, but I'll probably look to see if I'd seek out one of Ice Spice's friends over her.
They all, all the.
I'm just being honest. That's exactly what I do, JJ. 100%. I know you don't believe me, but
you're not turning that down, Mangone. You're not.
You're totally not. Yeah.
I mean, like,
if you like women, you're not turning it down.
Yes, again.
Yes, that's it. I mean, I'm not just talking to Mangone here. I'm talking to not just Mangone. I'm saying if you like women, you're not turning it down for my Spice. I'm just in a different point in my life where I just won't sleep with ugly women anymore. It's just not going to happen.
I'm on a show with 2 pathological fucking liars. Like it's hard, and it's hard for me to deal with it. But as you guys can see, I'm trying. There's so much rage inside me right now.
I just think it's just at this point, maybe the definition of beauty has changed. Maybe gingers with perms is in. I'm just not that. I feel like that was something big in the 70s. Not as big these days. I'm not down with that.
You know how uncultured I am? Like 2 months ago, when I started hearing about Ice Spice's name, like I thought she was like a Spice Girl. Like I thought,
yeah,
I
so
thought,
did
like,
I.
I thought she was like just a Spice Girl that aged well and like
Right.
and like just so happens to be trendy. Like that's how
Right.
uncultured I am.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. And she's named after ISIS, terrorist groups. It's just awful.
Hold on, we can bash Ice Spice together on the glacier walk.
All right, we'll do that another time. But we only got 15 minutes till JJ's got to go talk about cars. So that's wonderful. Oh, and Jake, let me tell you something. I could handle Ice Spice's cheeks. I've handled bigger cheeks than that, my friend. Much bigger. Much bigger.
I don't want to imagine.
But as you said, Holden, at this point in your life, you won't be dealing with cheeks that large anymore, correct?
Oh no! I'm definitely dealing with cheeks that large, just not on Ice Spice.
It's terrible.
Dimitri, exactly the opposite. I'm an ass man.
Well,
okay?
Dimitri,
I like big butts, Dimitri.
Don't be including me in the you guys. Okay, I've been pro Ice Spice since this show started. Like,
he's not good looking. I don't know what happened to what good looking women are all about now. When I was growing up, they were anorexic. That to me still was not a good looking thing. Anorexia not attractive. See a doctor. 100% red man. 100%. We got to get going, though. I mean, now we're 14 minutes left before JJ's got to get to his NASCAR show. I mean, we got to talk about Louis Vuitton.
We got 4 games left. We got 4 games left, and one of them's a game 2 of a doubleheader. So we'll be good. Just move it along.
Well, first of all, I need to figure out which one is game 2 of the doubleheader. Second of all, probably the Mets one, right? Probably the Mets one. And then the next thing was, I don't know what you were saying, so let's just keep going. Louis Varland going to the mound for the Twins. We like Louis Varland, right? Marcus Stroman, Mr. Ground Ball pitcher himself. He's very angry. He doesn't like it when he gets critiqued by people on the social media. That kind of makes me like the Cubs a little bit today, guys. At plus 120. I'm not going to bet them. I just wanted to say that. So I gave you some type of something. 7.5 is the total, JJ.
I don't have a strong take here betting wise. However, Varland, from a DFS perspective, is a pitcher I could be convinced into. I don't love his peripherals, to be honest, and it looks like Mangone, is he going to be the second highest pitcher owned on this slate? I mean, anyway, he'll be very high. You could talk through it. I could be convinced into playing him today, but it's the others that I had a hard time with.
Mangone, were we done with this game?
Yeah, I like Varland, and I don't think you can I don't think it's crazy to take a stab on Marcus Stroman. I just don't think it's crazy. There's a ton of pitchers on this slate. Sure, he doesn't project amazing. I'm not saying Marcus Stroman is going to go out there and throw an absolute gem, but the dude's going to probably be single digit owned against a Twins team that I'm not that scared of. And Marcus Stroman, look at his game logs. He hasn't been that bad for you this year. And on this slate, I just think you can get away with it with a low-owned pitcher. So I'm not saying I'm going to be loading the boat on him, but I could understand it. I'll say that.
I like the Stroman call.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Houston and the White Sox. This one's in the south side of Chicago. Hunter Brown. We like a little Hunter Brown, right? Still don't know who Lucas Giolito is after all these years, except his mom was an actress. And I remember speaking to Lucas, and one of his friends actually kind of had some fantasies about his mom. Maybe this is why his career is in a tailspin. Maybe he'll bounce back today. What does that have to do with this slate, JJ? I'm not sure. Minus 135 for the Astros. White Sox plus 115 at home, 7.5 total. Please.
Hunter Brown's a fun little pitcher. I know I backed the White Sox yesterday. Felt like we had a decent edge. I don't believe in Bielak at all. The fact that he pitched, decent again is kind of crazy to me. I'll be fading him for quite some time. But in relation to this spot, you could make the argument, man, going, I'm interested in your perspective, because you can make the argument for both starting pitchers. Giolito's advanced, the betting numbers around him today look pretty decent at his price as far as projections go. So yeah, I don't mind Giolito. Obviously, I'm sure, what's his name? Hunter Brown will see some ownership as well. Looks like sub 20% ish. But again, I could be convinced into both. I'd probably rather play whichever guy's lower owned, and I assume that's going to be Giolito. But Mangone, I'll let you speak to that.
So you'll definitely see more ownership on what's it called? You'll see more ownership on
Brown.
I'd assume. I like Hunter Brown a little bit. I'm not a huge Giolito guy. That's like my problem, JJ. He's had some good starts. I totally understand that, but Giolito hasn't just been someone that I've been playing. So I struggle with him. This is a game I would likely kind of X out the bats in this one. I just don't think you need to really play it that much. Sure, if you wanted to play a one-off of like Kyle Tucker, Yoran Alvarez, am I going to say no? Of course not. But this does not seem like a bad game to kind of just cross off here for the most part when it comes to the bats. Pitching-wise, I guess if you want to take a chance on the Giolito ownership, like let me see what the ownership is at on Giolito. Hang on, I want to just pull it up here. I'm seeing it at like 17%. And all these guys are going to be like mixed around. It's going to be really odd to see, and I'm curious how it all shakes out. But I think I'm just out on the hitters from this game, and it's mainly the pitchers. I wasn't considering Giolito as much on this slate, but maybe I should give it a second look because of what you're saying. And I assume what happens, this happens a lot on slates. You see the ownership projection, and then what happens is Giolito, his price is, where is it at? It is, what is it, Dunkel? Do you have it on you?
8K.
8K, and he's right next to Louis Varland, right? So what's going to happen is Varland, whatever his projected ownership is, which I see 30%, I bet that gets steamed up, right? And when that gets steamed up, who's it going to take from? It's going to take from Giolito. So I think you could see Giolito even come down to like 12%, or I wouldn't be shocked if it comes down to that kind of ownership. Maybe even 10%. It wouldn't be crazy.
That's fair.
All right, couple games to go here. Kansas City at the Brewers. Royals plus 140. Milwaukee minus 165. 9.5 total. Very healthy total. JJ, I don't know if there's anything from the betting side here, but I'm just looking at these lineups. Boy, we might be able to go at least 1 through 4 on the Royals looking good. I think there's a couple lefties we could pick off from the Brewers. So, Mangone, you could talk about that a little bit more. But any thoughts real quick on Kansas City and Milwaukee?
I wanted to fire on the over on this game, but like all series, there just hasn't really been a lot of runs in a series that there should have been runs. You always get concerned with the Milwaukee Pen and how they can just kind of dominate a game, but they've been used a decent piece these last 2 games. I wanted to stack this game. I want to play this game. I wanted to bet this over. I just, this sport's streaky. There hasn't been a lot of runs in this series, nearly as much as there should have been, especially with the arms that have been going. I'd also argue, just based on how the series has played out, that this might be the best pitching matchup of the series, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah, ultimately, I'm interested in what you think, Mangone, as far as the sticks go, because I think it's a good game to stack. It's just that Friday, Saturday hasn't shown there to be a lot of runs in the series.
Yeah, one thing I'll call out with the Royals, which I think people, they don't want to play them a lot, but you know why you have to play the Royals? One, that ballpark's been good, and 2, like, Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop, like Salvador Perez at catcher, they're positions that sometimes are difficult to roster, right? Like, and Bobby Witt's just been underpriced all year, it seems like. So I'm in on these Royals. I'm definitely playing them. And they make sense as a mini stack. They make sense as a 5-man. Definitely like the Brewers too against Jordan Lyles. I'm not scared of Jordan Lyles. Obviously, that top of the order, Yelich, really good play. You got Jesse Winker as a nice little value. Willie Adames, 4.4 is too cheap for him. Tellez at 4.2, that's a good price. And even some of these guys at the bottom of the order, like, they can get after, right? They have upside. So, and they'll be low owned. So I love this game. I'm definitely going to get a lot of ownership on this one. Or not ownership. We're going to get a lot of exposure to this one.
I like it. I think we got one more DFS side, and then that'll be that. And then we can just run through the rest of the games real quick. It's Max Scherzer going for the Mets against his old team, the Washington Nationals, in D.C. Jake Irvin is going to the mound there. And actually, if I remember correctly, Jake Irvin is coming off a pretty nice start. As far as the betting goes, heavy favorites for the Mets, minus 195, plus 165 for the Nationals. And then 9 is the total here, JJ. You can always, just from a DFS side, you can always pick a bat or 2 against Scherzer because he'll give up a home run. So good luck with that. But anything betting here today, I'm not bothering Max at minus 195.
Yeah, I mean, in most scenarios, you look at a slate like this, just lock in a guy like Max and move on with how shitty the pitchers are in this slate. But man, like I wanted to completely fade him, but like it's hard because I'd argue out of every pitcher on the slate, he has the most upside. And it's always hard to just completely fade the guy that has the most upside on the slate. Man, he's looked so bad though. And he gets this Washington lineup in a doubleheader where you probably get a watered down version of the Nats in game 2. I don't know. He just doesn't feel like he's pitching with confidence at all. His betting props look bad for his price. A little bit of Max I could be convinced into. Normally a slate like this, I just go all in on a guy like Max, but especially since there's so much money to go around, with a pairing of Garrett. But yeah, I could be convinced to pairing, Garrett with Scherzer. I just because of the upside. But man, it feels like, your typical 15, 16 point performance from Scherzer. And I just don't know if that's going to be enough to do it for you at his price.
Any thoughts here, Mangone?
I'm currently calling the Milwaukee Roof Hotline to get Red's answer. Hold on.
Royals at 6:10 p.m. at American Family Field.
Hold on.
Weather forecast for game time is
Wait for
63 degrees and overcast, and the roof will be closed.
The roof will be closed, Redmond. So I got Red's answer. That's how you figure it out. It takes you 20 seconds.
He's in the main slate on DraftKings.
Yes. He might not be on. Maybe he's not on the FanDuel one.
I know it's confusing. It confuses me. You know how much prep I had to put in the show?
I don't know why they injected this game into the slate, because I agree it does confuse things, but he's definitely in the main slates here.
So one thing to call out with that game, like you might make your teams and like we don't have that lineup yet, right? Like, and when are we gonna get that lineup? Like I think that's like a whole mess of a scenario that I'm trying to navigate a little bit. But it is Jake Irvin. Also, the bullpen could be taxed, right? And it's the Nationals bullpen, so that's kind of encouraging. That's why you gotta like some Mets. So overall, I'm gonna play some Mets, right? I think I'm gonna have exposure to them, but don't just walk away from your computer and don't check out the teams, right? Don't get lost in the Boston Celtics dominating the Sixers today. Be sure to check out your Mets lineups.
Be sure to check out Ja Morant's video on Twitter. It was a very good one. Very, very good one. And it teaches responsible handling of guns and how not to hold a gun. So we need to leave, Mangone. We did the whole DFS slate. I just want to give my best bet. Have been, to be perfectly honest, I've been pretty good on the show. We're going to go with the Rangers run line today, folks. There's only been a couple teams better than the Rangers. We're 24-15 on the run line this year. They're taking on the Oakland A's. We love picking on the Oakland A's. So it's going to be pretty easy. Oakland's the worst team ever. We've been attacking them all season long. We're getting -110 on a run line. And then for the Super Whalecock play of the day, let's just get real crazy. These odds have to be at least, -800 or better? JJ, is that what I said last year? I'm going to go with a -1650. Rangers +5.5. Rangers +5.5, -1650.
It's a lock.
What's your best bet?
So call it split down the middle. Obviously, I mentioned the Marlins first 5, lay the half run, -105. And I do like the Yankees, a small dog today. They're up to +115 now. I got them at +105 myself. I know Schmidt's been bad. I'm just not an Eflin guy. I think that you're buying low and selling high, getting Schmidt today at a dog price at home. With a Yankees lineup that's finally starting to find some success with their sticks. So I like the spot.
Mangone, you got a bet or a DFS play you want to throw with us before we get out of here?
I was trying to find one a pitcher prop, but it's gonna be too tough to do really quick. But if I had
DFS, give me a pitcher.
Best DFS pitcher for me today.
Mangone's locking in Braxton Garrett.
I like Garrett. Yeah, let's go with Garrett because I like him a lot. I'm not locking him, but I'm definitely going to be overweight for sure. I have to make some adjustments kind of when I get off the show, but Braxton Garrett, if you want a bet, it's in the NBA, but we'll go with the Tyrese Maxey under 4.5 rebounds. So yeah, and then of course Joey Work has the Rockies plus money as the Mother's Day play of the day for the people.
+145. So he's got the Marlins. I got the Rangers run line. You got your thing. We all got our things. Sign up for the site, runpuresports.com, run pure bets. Everything's just amazing. I would love to yell at you like that. JJ's trying to get out. 2 things, JJ. First of all, Ja Morant, it's his Fifth Amendment right to carry a gun. Can't suspend him. Second of all, Ice Spice, disgusting. Just not a good looking woman. Mangone, and I'd also like to thank you so much for waking up and just stopping by when you saw that.
Thank you, Mangone. Thank you, Mangone.
Happy.